Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. In this video, we're doing the the Gold Coast versus Geelong game, in which Gold Coast, that fortress at TIO Stadium, is a real thing. I did tip them, but I didn't think they'd win it this easily. And I know that Geelong did have Dangerfield's out injured, Hawkins didn't play, Jeremy Cameron didn't play. Who else didn't play? They had a lot. They had a couple guys. They also didn't have. They had Conway play instead of Conway and Blickarves instead of Stanley play, even though Stanley was pretty poor the week before. So yeah, a lot of people didn't play for them, and that did cause a sort of overload. Well, not really an overload, but just sort of they were just underdone completely. And I don't think they acclimatized to the conditions as well as Gold Coast would have, given Gold Coast had played there before. So they basically just got run through, and the Gold Coast midfield combined for I don't even know how many touches, but it was too many to withstand. And yeah, Gold Coast kicked so accurately that Geelong, even though they had a scoring shot added to 4 points, Gold Coast were kicking about 5 points per shot. So yeah, it was just Gold Coast just dominated, really, really accurate. There was 41 goals, 18 in the game. And Gold Coast got 26 of those. So anyway, before we jump into this video, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload, and let's get into this recap. So, Noah Anderson, a 142, he was pretty good throughout the day and even chipped in with a couple goals in the last quarter, a couple of cheeky goals in the last quarter to get himself to a 142, sorry. And yeah, he was just, even though he didn't even beat his break even, he's one that outside of the tag that he encountered against the Swans in round 6, I believe it was, if you take out that tag of 69, and yes, he did have a really poor game against North, but outside of that tag game, 69, that would be 1,008 in 9 games, and that's like a 112 or something like that, or 112, 113. What do we say? 1,008 divided by 9 is a 112 on the dot, and yeah, so he really is, I think, undervalued. Is going to drop, I believe, another 2k or whatever, but next week is going to have a really low break even, has the round 14 bye, which I believe we have quite a lot on, but yeah, just I think he is really, really underrated, and I think next year could be an interesting one to look at. Potentially, Matt Rowell, I think his game is really actually developing now. He's an absolute clearance beast, but the thing that I really like about his game is not only is he getting the tackles, and we knew that was going to happen here at TIO, and you can see he only actually had 4 disposals in the first quarter, but then he just went on a tear, and I don't even know if that's right, because I swear he got a tackle or whatnot, but maybe the tackles just all came in the second. But yeah, he just went on an absolute tear. And the thing I like about his game is that he's getting the disposal. I think he had 16 kicks and 19 handballs, but he also had 13 tackles, and he also chipped in with a goal, and he's starting to chip in with goals semi-regularly. If we go to Rowell as well, I think he's got maybe 4 goals for the year, or 5 goals for the year. 1, 2, 3, 5. He's got 6 goals in 10 games. He's adding half a goal a game. Well, 0.6 goals a game. So half a goal a game. And yeah, that's really, really impactful for Gold Coast, including Anderson, who I think has got maybe a couple. I think he's at 6 or so goals a game. Let me just Gold Coast goals 2024. I just want to see who. Let's see, goals per game. Here we go. So you got Ben King averaging 2.9, Roses 2, Sam Day 2, Walter. Let me just see, where are the midfielders? You got Noah Anderson, 0.9 goals per game. You got Closey, 0.86. Again, 0.86 goals out of a winger. I think that's 6 and 7. Then you got Swallow at 0.67, which I believe is 6 and 9. Then you got Rowland, 6 and 10. And you've even got Tuke Miller's only got 2 and 10. Sam Flanders has got 1. You're starting to get those influence of, yeah, guys are kicking goals from the midfield. And if they can get that up to 4 or 5 guys around a goal a game from the midfield, or 0.8 goals per game from the midfield, that's when you really start to see impacts. And it takes the load off the forwards. I think that's evident in the Swans goal kicking at the moment with Heaney, Chad Warner, Errol Gordon. I think they're up there. I think those 3 make a part of the top 6 for the Swans in goal kicking or whatever, or top 7, the 3 of them. And yeah, the Swans top 5 isn't actually that bad for goal kicking, even though you don't really see a big name in the forward line. As I think our top goal scorer is 18 goals compared to most teams that has a 27, a 29, a 30. Well, not a 30 yet, but the Coleman is 24. The 24th was about 5th place. And I think Ben King's leading it on 29 currently with the extra game played. Sexton was a surprise one, and this one was really annoying because you don't really look at this and think, oh yeah, Sexton's going to necessarily score extremely well. I forgot what he did last week, and that was probably bad on me to forget. Yeah, he went 88 last week, so I wasn't really looking at him going, oh, he's going to do well. I thought maybe an 88 was just a little bit of an outlier, and he would go maybe a 75 or something like that, and I didn't think that would be really that valuable. Obviously huge in this week, and I think a lot of people sort of held him, and they now get his score available, which is quite annoying. But sometimes you have to cull players like Sexton, and they come back to bite you if you don't. They can come back and bite you if you get rid of them, but you needed to cull them to get those progress. And for those that held, they finally get some reward. But I'm more than willing to sort of cull like Sexton and guys like that, given that he could, one, lose his role very, very quickly. Two, I think he can, that this was kind of an outlier result as well, because they did have Mac Andrew go down, and I think he would have impacted Sexton as well, as Sexton did score, what is it? Here we go. He did score, 54 in the second. So I don't know what has it at 103, but he scored a 126, I swear. So that's 49. So yeah, I'm going to check what Sexton's stats were by quarter, because I swear that this is off massively. That's a 54 and that's a 49. So that's only getting him a 103, and he scored a 126. So let's just see his quarter by quarter here, because that's massively off. He had a, let me just see, where is it? I don't know. Let me just see here. Sexton, he had a 34 in the first, yet it has him down for 11. Okay, that's a little bit off. Then 34, 38, 38, and then also in the last he scored a 16. So yeah, I don't know what's up with those stats, to be honest. That's a little bit off. So then you got Miller here. He had a slow start. I don't think it was that slow, to be honest with you. I think these stats are very, very underscored in the first quarter for some reason, but the total stats aren't. So yeah, Miller 108, Humphrey 101. He had a huge second half with, I think he kicked something like 4 goals in the second half. 1, 2, 3, 4 goals here, yeah, and he kicked 1 in the second. Lukosha started off on fire. Johnson, Swallow, Moyle, Ainsworth, Longberry, Jeffrey, King. Closey had a pretty poor game, but I think it was just they didn't use his wing, basically, and yeah, his stats are well off as well, because he didn't score 43, he scored 63. So yeah, these stats are very much off, as he did, where is it here? Closey had a 20 in the first quarter, so yeah, his stats are off. And I just want to point out that Raul had a 31 first quarter, not an 8. So yeah, those stats are definitely off a little bit. Fiorini, Davies, yeah, and Mac Andrew out injured, it looks like. Holmes, 106, yeah, he did really well. Then you have Myers, Conway, Dempsey, an 81. I thought, yeah, he definitely started off well, so these stats are just off. But he's going to have these type of games where he just scores 80s, and 80s aren't that damaging when you think about it. Yes, it sucks early season when these guys put up good scores as rookies, but when you start to think about this later on, you sort of have these guys, he's going to be up against your score of like a Darcy Wilson or a Jeremy Sharp or something like that, and his 81 doesn't really matter. Atkins, Bowes, Guthrie, Parfitt, Bruin, again, a 57. He is one that we're just waiting for him to break out, to be honest, Bruin. What's that, 21? His stats are just slightly off, but not too much. Neil, Stengel, Stewart as well. Stewart is dropping massively, and I don't think he's going to necessarily be one to ever be fantasy relevant again, given Holmes has come back, sort of gone back into the back line. I mean, he did spend some CBAs, Holmes. But Stewart is getting on. He's like 31 already, so I wouldn't be selecting him anytime soon or next year. Mullen, Henry, Rowan, Close, Blickovs, O'Connor, Colin Jasney, Tui, Guthrie. Clark came on and beat his break-even somehow in 1 quarter, so he did really well to get to that point, and he did kick a goal to get to that. So at least he got his break-even, I guess. I don't know what exactly he's going to go to now, his break-even, but probably 40-odd, but he's probably going to be dropped anyway. But yeah, that is pretty much the video there. We didn't spend too much on Geelong because they're falling down a ladder at the moment and they don't really have much relevance. For any of those that picked up Conway, I mean, I don't think he'll play next week, which will be kind of annoying. given that they're just on such a rotation at the moment, and I think that they'll go back to their veterans next week. But I thought Conway had a decent game. I mean, he did play Moyle, who had an 83, but yeah, I think Conway had a pretty decent game. But that is basically the video there, going through the Gold Coast versus Geelong game, in which Geelong just got dominated, to be honest, out of the centre and just got ran through. So I'm not too worried about Closey as much. I thought if he did get swapped around the wings a couple of times, and it seemed like whichever wing he was on, the ball was going down the other wing, and they did go through the centre quite a lot. So I reckon he's fine. And when they get back to, I believe they play Carlton at Marvel, I think he'll be fine that week, next week. So yeah, I don't think he's a trade out guy unless his break even is like 80 or something like that, but I don't think it will be, given that he was a 38 break even this week. So I think it's going to pop to about 60 or so, which isn't still that bad for a rookie, especially because he's averaging like 75 or something like that. But anyway, that is the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.